TSB. All right, you could just say start and we'll get going.
Mark, please.
Start? What?
Every time. Lovely. Every single time Tony joins the chat, we gotta use that. It's fantastic. Hello everyone. Welcome back to another session of Candlekeep Mysteries. Last time on Candlekeep Mysteries, you all continued your trial inside of the still waters of the key pool of the Temple of the Immortal Lotus. Wow, that is a sentence. What a sentence when you phrase it like that. And thus inside of the pool, you found a massive key dragon, which you was served as a vehicle by which you all fought against yourselves. Quite literally in this case, as it was literally clones of yourself that you had to beat up. You were in the process of finishing off the last 3 sets of the clones, Jojera, Ray, and Lazuli, and having successfully done so after tanking quite a number of key bombs, you eventually found your path to victory and mastered the art of inner alchemy, as each person unlocks some of their latent potential this way. You then exited out of the key pool and found that Tashaluna was completely flooded. It seems that the temple served as the source of which the water poured out of, though it doesn't appear that there were any casualties, at least none that were registered. You returned over to Tashaluna, investigated by gathering some information, and saw Golem in the water, just trudging along and carrying people's possessions, as just kind of their own volition. Deciding that perhaps flooding the local metropolis was perhaps unwise, you have exited out of Candlekeep Being by intentionally triggering the ending to Chapter 1, where you now exited out and found yourselves back over in Candlekeep, having gained 2 levels for your troubles. I believe the group is taking extended rest.
That's right. I think so, because some people are spellcasters and need long rest.
I need those spell slots to get us to Tashluda and back.
Listen to this guy.
In our defense, like, we didn't just run out of, like, hit die for long resting. It was literally Aqua change a system, and then we were just suddenly at max fatigue, and then we were just here like, oh. Well, like, we've had, like, 4 sessions without resting, by the way, just for the record. Like...
Skill issue.
So what I'm hearing is that the system is working.
Skill issue.
Yeah?
Well, that's what I'm hearing. That's all I'm hearing. All I'm hearing is that my change has worked. I cracked the code. This is it. So this is the one that finally accomplishes what I've been trying to do this whole damn time.
Next time Team Red members need healing, you can use your own damn spell slots.
Okay. I guess then with this week commencing, you one of the first things that you do notice is that when you've returned out of the book, it has stopped snowing and is sort of aggressively sunny now. It's nice and peaceful, not rainy, not snowy, not cloudy. It's just nice and sunny day constantly.
I'm a water type. I prefer it to be rain dance, not sunny day.
Let's go ground on.
Okay, I guess we'll start the extended rest shenanigans. We go ahead and we'll start top to bottom, which in this case that means Burb. Your extended rest is first. What would you like to do?
Nameless is probably gonna keep working with Echo, trying to get her body back and get themselves separated from Sin, and maybe go be a nice supportive pet for any studying students.
Okay, continuing over with that field of research over with Echo then. Let me see. And you had think you had. So I was just double checking something. One moment.
Oh yeah, and of course I'll see if the professor has anything new for me.
Okay. Let me see. By helping the professor, I forgot what were remind me, what was it that Nameless was contributing over to the experimentation? Because they didn't have Arcana, they were doing something else, if I recall them.
Uh,
It's been a while, I know.
sure if it was Nameless specifically doing anything. Honestly, I think it was Echo mostly. So I guess technically Nameless can go do something else.
Isn't Echo like a centaur now or
Um,
something?
Yeah, come back to me. Let me think about what Nameless would actually do, if
Okay, I'll
anything,
come
to
back to you
help.
that then. We'll just go over to Elocution next instead. Elocution, what are you up to? Actually, you need to type up your thing, don't you? Maybe I go down. We go down and yeah, that's approximately what I expected. Don't worry, I got you. I can read your mind. We're like so close we can finish each other's. So water
Sandwiches.
busy finishing
Sandwiches?
that. Um, Diesel, what are you doing for your extended rest?
I'm trying to. I was looking at the what's it called? The inner alchemy that we just got.
It's
I'm
it's a bit of an odd sensation. Like you can kind of feel the key and moving a bit underneath your skin, under your fingertips, right? Kind of maneuvering about, but it feels less like you're in control of it and more like you're converting magical energy into natural energy when you like did just ran like very short, quick experimentations at it.
right. Yes, I mean he's definitely interested in that because that's kind of half the reason he came into Candlekeep was to try and find something like this to kill those damn wizards back in Tay. So, uh, yeah, I think probably just seeing if the library has any information on that, or if anyone around here. I don't know if there's a person. There's kind of a lot of NPCs, and I don't really just want to go to Quill for obvious reasons. So, um, probably just seeing if someone knows something about how to get more information about this, or if this is like a common, not necessarily common power, but like if there's similar powers that are not necessarily directly related but tangentially related. You get what I'm
All
saying or
right,
no?
all right. Yeah. Let's see what that would be then. This is no longer a search for Arcana then. This is going to be an investigation. Probably you suspect this would be closer to a history investigation if you choose to pursue this. Or even religion, perhaps.
So you're saying both, like history and investigation?
Yeah, history and investigation. I think history makes the most sense for something like this because I think monastic traditions are usually things passed down through history, right?
That sounds right, yeah. Well, in that case, I'm gonna do a pro gamer move and use primal knowledge so I can use my strength mod instead. Um, so let me edit these real quick so that they roll properly. Investigation.
Oh yeah, the classic, just throwing books on the ground and picking them up eventually. Probably.
Exactly. All right, and then another nice thing is because a long time ago I decided I want to get a skill check advantage from one of our ASIs, and I have never used it a single time. Um, I'll use that as well. Why not? So, oh, Pog.
Okay, let's see.
History
Not
is normally
history.
wisdom, right?
Yes, history is normally
I,
wisdom.
was, I wanted to change it back to wisdom, so I didn't roll it as strict next
Is
time.
history not
History is
intelligence? Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. I'm
Okay, well then I'm
in
glad
trouble.
I asked, because I would have just set it to wisdom.
Oh no. Okay. Well, you are definitely you've learned to more successfully unga your bunga, as it were, and are more strategically throwing books around as you continue to delve into the pour into the books here at the House of the Binder, at the more mundane section of the library, but that's still, still riveting information throughout. As you search for any kind of monastic traditions related over to this unique ability that you've seemingly acquired, right? Um, you can't find anything that is specific to the power that you seem to have mastered through inner alchemy. This seems, if there is knowledge about it, you haven't found it yet in terms of like converting, using your hands to convert magical energy and distilling it into natural energy. But what you have found is um converting just energy in general over into natural energy, aka ki, right?
Sure.
You find that there's a book that specifically talks about like how one is capable of, for example, regaining resistance against certain elements through the ability to channel some of that damage into the natural form, aka distilling it into ki. You suspect that by working along with this book for the next week, you may be able to at least temporarily enhance your natural energy in such a way to be able to accomplish this, since you've already kind of got the foundation set. Thus, you gain one resistance to an elemental type until the start of your next until your next extended rest.
Alright, cool. While we're on the topic of resistances, I had a question for you. I
Yeah.
know that you have the adaptive resistance thing if you have 2 permanent sources of resistance. Is there any difference if it's 2 permanent sources of immunity?
Um,
And for context, the reason I was looking at this, I was looking at Infernal Constitution, um, which
I think
Hmm.
I decided was that double immunity gives you one immunity just turns into any resistance, elemental resistance of your type.
Okay, and then if one is immunity, one is resistance, it's still just the adaptive resistance?
Yes.
Okay. I could not remember. Thank you.
Surely everyone couldn't be kung fu fighting. But it's still this seems like a fairly the start of a potentially powerful set of abilities. These was you. Well, like keep the book near and feel like a nerd.
Yeah, so that's Diesel's happy with this
Diesel
because
knows
even though
how
this
to
is
read.
yeah, Diesel knows how to read, don't worry. Listen, Diesel went to a prestigious wizard school back in Tay, he just hated it.
Does he trace the words with his finger so he remembers where he is?
No, like he's actually smart. He just you know, he just doesn't care for wizardry. That doesn't make him stupid. Are you calling all non-wizards stupid, Nick?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'll beat you up, bro.
I'm not. Ethereum's not smart either. In fact, I think.
Don't push your prejudices and your knowledge on other people, buddy.
Hold on a second, Mister. I hate wizards. You might not be forcing us to hate wizards, but you still want to kill all wizards.
Not all wizards, just some in Tay. Some associated with the color red, you know,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
also the
Hold on, why are you Team
phylacteries.
Red then?
True. Hold
Well,
on
you
a
see,
second.
Son.
We're unraveling this.
Red barbarians of Thay, huh?
it
Sus?
reminds me of what I lost. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't question my
Yes.
teammate.
Yeah, I'm gonna go stand by Growl. That's true. You're right.
Good lord. We are all very smart. What are you talking about?
Smort. Uh, so up next, Ethereon. Your extended rest commences.
I want to give you a guess at what I'm gonna do.
Sure, you're going to get drunk.
Okay, well, you're wrong. I'm gonna work on my book. I have catching up to do for writing my encyclopedia.
All right, and you had some more edits and the like. I forgot. Oh yeah, I think you tried, and then you lower rolled if I recall.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
remember what you had me roll, but
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was probably
I think it was nature and something else, but I don't remember.
nature and survival probably made the most sense.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
having proficiency in neither of the things he wanted me to roll for, so.
Oh yeah, well that tracks again here too. Nature and
You're
survival,
a
yeah, again.
ranger and you don't have proficiency in either of those?
Yeah, I know, right?
And you're writing a book about it too.
Yeah. Alright, let's not low roll this time? Okay, alright. Okay! I don't low roll!
Wow. Actually, that's what a roll. Okay. Ethereon, you continue adding over to your encyclopedia that you have. You've seen a variety of new beasts and plant fauna, some of which you're not totally sure if they exist in the real world, but they probably do to some extent. So you decided to catalog them anyway. Who's going to question you? You know, does it count as an encyclopedia of nature if it also includes stuff that you find inside of a demi-plane-ish book realm? You choose yes. The answer is yes. That's the answer you decided on. Out of curiosity, are you working on the book? Like, is it in a perpetual state of constant adding on, or is there like a chance that you think it can ever reach a finished state, or like volumes, or like chapters and the like?
Yeah, it has different editions, you know? Like, I'm currently working on the first edition, but eventually I'll have to release it, and then I'll continue working on the second edition.
All right. Well, of all things, you believe that with the last iterations you've done, with all the edits you've received from Quill as well, and with all of the time you spent on it, the first edition is complete.
Let's go.
All right. With this first edition complete, now it's just a matter of now what? Do you intend to market this, or what are you planning to do with this book?
I mean, I think the first thing
Something.
is it should be added to the Candlekeep library, you know?
You do know that the House of the Binder does allow you to make copies of books, so you are able to very rapidly just go and create more copies of your volume that way.
Yeah, I guess we could market, we could sell it. It's not a terrible idea.
Okay.
I don't see why not.
You go ahead and get to the printing presses. The House of the Binder's mechanism for copying books is quite convenient. You literally just find a pedestal, set your book on it, and almost like a magical factory, it just produces them out from something akin to a forceful conveyor belt
Okay.
for a very reasonable nominal fee of like a single gold piece. It's very reasonable for that large batch at a time.
Mhm.
Now, if only you were able to get the word out, you wonder.
I'm sure there's somebody in Candlekeep, potentially Aaron Quill, that knows marketing better than I do. You know?
Yes, if only there was someone
You
who had the
also,
voice.
I was gonna say, you also have a living radio
Oh yeah,
that
that's
you
true.
know.
That's true. Elocution could always help me.
Okay. Growl, you are up with the extended rest. Oh, but one thing first. Ethereon, as you are at the House of the Binder, one thing you definitely notice is that the number of people here at Candlekeep definitely feels like it's never been higher than before. While moving around, right, you can see people just kind of like it seems like families even that have just arrived who are kind of looking around at the various things and kind of talking and being a little bit unmannerly at times because they haven't quite learned the etiquette. But they seem excited to kind of be exploring Candlekeep grounds and being like, "Whoa, look at this!" As they kind of muse and stare at your process with creating these new volumes and whispering amongst themselves and sort of a piqued curiosity.
Candlekeep open for like career day or something.
He's kidnapping everyone.
They're low
Putting
on
them in
funds, so they
pods.
opened up a museum tour.
There's no way that goes wrong. Ground, you're up next for your extended rest.
Well, firstly, Growl is gonna write some letters home. And then they're gonna do a little experiment where they're gonna try and get people to make her angry and see if she can peacefully, meditate it out. So she's gonna dare people to like piss her off.
Nameless drops a bag of poop on her head randomly.
And she will not like that.
Actually, I'm gonna try and sneak up to her. Hang on.
Right.
You try to sneak up on Growl, but Growl's inner alchemy allows them to hear the heartbeats of creatures around them. So as soon as you get within like 120
I don't have
feet,
a heartbeat. Joke's
Yeah, I
on
was
you.
gonna say, wait a minute, yeah.
Question mark, ping, question mark, ping, question mark, ping.
They're dead.
Alright, well,
that's
I
definitely-
unsuccessfully sneak up, but I do it anyway.
Growl, people aren't able to sneak up on you very well. You just literally hear their heartbeats whenever they're approaching.
It's okay. I probably just think Nameless is doing whatever. I don't think about it.
So you are you're attempting different ways of getting you angry as meditation practice.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. What kind of check would
It
this be?
is to
I know
do
insight.
with the Oni disease. The disease that makes Onis very, very angry and go on rampages.
I mean, the closest thing I can think of to some of the taunt mechanics in 5e would be a wisdom save.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That seems reasonable. Let's do insight and a wisdom saving throw.
Right. What the poop. I'm not done
Good suggest. Good suggest. That seems very very fitting.
insight. Wisdom save.
Okay.
Yes. Inner peace.
Inner peace. Having
Inner
mastered the inner peace. You've already begun kind of mastering more of the art of your key has probably never been more focused than it has up to this point, and so you feel just a very strong set of peace with things.
Anyone else want to try to piss me off?
Someone tries to bitch you off, and you're like, "And I love you for that."
I'm trying.
Give me a second. I'm looking at what the benefit is.
Mind me, I'm drawing someone eating sweet corn.
Okay. You believe that you've been able to practice the concept of peace quite a bit, and so you feel more in tune with yourself, especially enhanced by your inner alchemy, which has greatly improved your ability to sort of focus your inside and your interior together. Two things happen. The first is that until your next extended rest, you have immunity to frighten and charm, which is nice. You can't be frightened or charmed. The second thing that happens is that you, as you're kind of listening in on the heartbeats of people, right, and focusing on yourself, not only did you realize that you can kind of control your own heartbeat and learning about your own, but you're feeling like you can kind of begin to sense what other people are kind of going through. Like you can tell if their heartbeat is irregular and if that indicates that they are feeling sick.
Heart monitor.
Like you see like a family going by and then you're like that dad, they need some medicine. But they seem fine. They're not like on the verge, like, you're not like dying or anything, but it's very much like lay off the sweets, man.
I warned them immediately. And I grabbed their belly. Stop it.
You
Just
grab their
stop.
belly.
It jiggles violently in your hand as it whaps you away with force. And by it, I mean their belly whaps you. Airy is your extended rest. And I believe you said a question about Holly that I missed. Let me see.
Yeah, just a question about HP. But can you come back to me once you've done something else? I'm just in the middle of something.
Oh my goodness, Georgera, it is your extended rest.
Alright, well, naturally, I'm going to be spending it in my lair. And as far as my lair goes, there isn't anything that really screams a dragon lives here, or that Dojira lives here, that this is home just quite yet. So I'm thinking I was going to do like a bit of a DIY and try to give it a bit more of a personal touch. And what I was thinking was I was going to take the old statue of Savras, and I was going to try to reshape that, reform that into a different kind of statue, one honoring the divine honored ancestor. Like I can
Okay.
use stone shape. I could also summon a draconic spirit if I believe I need the extra claws. But yeah, that's what I have in mind.
Okay. Let's see. So that would be a what do you have something to oh, you said you were using a spell to shape the stone, right?
Yeah, spells. I might also summon a draconic spirit to help if it seems like I need it.
Well, yeah, it definitely would help. Let's see. So that means you won't have to rely on the tools specifically, since magic is going to be at your assistance. That means Arcana is going to be more useful for shaping it. More specifically, then let's see. So it would be Arcana and probably history, draconic history, of which you get a bonus for, as this does relate to dragons.
All right. Kind of wish I had a way to give myself like advantage on this or other ability. Like fucking the boon of fate cannot be used on your own rolls, which is just like
You
And
guide
Joe's
others
here
to a
too.
treasure you cannot possess.
I love that quote so much. It stays in my head around me
Specifically-
sometimes whenever
Specifically,
whenever I talk about anytime I talk about like helping other people with this or something, I'm just there it goes. There it is, that quote. I know this new treasure I cannot possess. Your progress over this week is meticulous, focused, and successful. As you
Peace.
eventually craft a nice, reasonably sized statue in honor of the first psionic ruby dragon Sardior. And you feel that your layer is more, it's beginning to be enhanced, as well as you feel the same tingles of psionic energy beginning to course through your body as well. The first starting of your path. Your lightning is feeling more cynatic than it previously did, as if it now can be forged in a new way beyond simply electrocution. You also find that means that one of the benefits that you had already noticed from earlier is that after you successfully activated the overwhelming amount of aspect energy granted by Miriam's trigger, which worked quite well as they were in a very ancient dragon. You have found that your ability to control your own aspect of dragon has begun to increase so much that you have an incredible fine degree of control with it, and you have gained another two set of aspects usages which can only be used for psionic related draconic upgrades.
Do you want me to give you what I decide on those now, or?
No, you can decide on them later because we have to get the other subquesting anyway, right?
Okay.
At the very least, however, you've done it. You feel like you're able to begin transmuting your body to become more and more draconic, and over time, it's just going to continue to do so. What I'm trying to say here is Jojira has unlocked your draconic skill tree. That's what they did. It's like a skill tree. They unlocked it.
Excellent.
Meanwhile, back in Candlekeep, Burb, we're back to you.
Dang.
You
Unlucky.
did.
I can't believe that they died. Elocution, what are you up to, buddy? Friend, pal, amigo, amiga, robro,
Radiohead.
robosexual.
Uh-huh.
If you're basically a giant stereo, does that make you stereotypical?
Wow. I'm having trouble increasing the number of resource like trackers I have. I can only go up to 12 or 9. Sorry. Is 9 the
You need
maximum?
more than that?
I think
Yeah.
20 is the maximum. You might
'Cause when
need to
I
change it in the settings.
Yeah, 20 is the maximum.
how do I change that then?
5e sheet resources plus, try that under settings, and then change the local resource limit.
5e okay, where do I find
5e sheet resources plus, it should be the fourth one from the top.
Oh yeah, it does say unlock wall resource limit. No, it says -1 on my side.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the on the top
Oh,
like the
global
bar
resource limit. That's why. Yeah, that's my bad. I set the global resource limit to 9. Then he set it to 12. Would that be enough?
Probably.
All right. Oh right, I forgot to mention it's going to reload.
Well,
Unlucky.
is there any reason why you couldn't have set it to like 20 while you were doing that? Just so that.
I'm scared of what would happen if I did. So,
Hmm.
like I guess we'll stick with 12 until it seems totally necessary, I suppose. More like Ray. Am I right?
It's airy today, thank you. Probably.
Okay. Wow, I just realized I maybe interfered with what Keisha was typing. No, okay, phew, they finished. They're going to test their new powers on intonation and increase their int and con to 10 and 20 respectively. Okay. So let's see. Did you have you had you had an intonation as your one? Okay. So this part, oh, okay, so you're using the week to train them basically. Elocution, similarly, despite being a construct key, is moving through your body almost like within the internal circuitry of your own form. You never realized that it was quite so robotic, because as a warforged, you had always been humanoid for first and foremost, which was a living creature. But you now feel that the natural forces within you have actually transformed themselves into more of a robotic melding that encompasses both the living energy inherent within humanoids, while also beginning to become more truly of a construct itself. And this has given you knowledge of what it's almost kind of like to be like other constructs that you see intonation, dull, and essentially non-sentient. A small robotic dog, the kind you place batteries in, that would chirp and bark at a set interval with random phrases. Intonation is not smart, but you're about to change that. You put your hand over on the intonation's head and suffuse them with key energy, which also begins to flow through them in the same way that it's gone through you. And suddenly, intonation's movements, their blinking, seems to have changed. As they kind of look over to the left, they look over to the right, they look over at you. It's so colorful. It's so colorful. Everything is so colorful. They seem to be taking things in, even the floor, which they are now staring at with such vested interest. What color is this? They asked their first question ever.
We must stop the AI.
I'm ready with my bath.
Okay, they're checking something. Oh, wait, that's me.
It's me.
They do kind of speak in Skitter Widget. That is kind of funny. Skitter Widget is just a variety of clicks and gears turning. Because that chooses to be an idiot. While Elocution is trying that, looking up what they need to click clack. um, Intonation is looking around ever the more at everything. They see all the people passing by, and it seems that at some level they're still fighting their base instincts as they the their tail lights up with energy as if they were about to go and sting, and then it stops. You're like, but why? Why am I?
Oh, you've made them depressed. No.
Oatmeal. They click and twist their gears into a new sound that they have never emitted before. Oatmeal. The irony of oatmeal being a meal is lost on them. I've been trained them wrong. That's a joke. By the way, this reminds me, you can try testing this out, Nameless, but I think I found a module that made it so it doesn't scroll all the way to the bottom when someone types something. That's neat.
Alright, someone type something.
Jamie's always typing things right now.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Hey.
It's work.
Yeah.
Let's go in the future. Intonation, for their part, having been granted sentience, is spending their first 2 hours actually just asking a barrage of questions to you, elocution. First starting off benign, mostly about colors and about height, about their size, about who they are, and then even their own name. They ask until finally they ask, "What will we do then?" I am supposed to listen to you. I see, but I feel nothing on this ground. They tap it. It's all metal. Everything feels metal. There is no feel, only see. But now I know more. I know oatmeal. Over the course of the week, you train up intonation, versing them inside of the nature of the world and answering their questions. Thus, you do have them now as a more portable familiar. Intonation, for their part, has gained a new feature. That you see that intonation has learned a new feature called escape drive, where if they were about to take lethal damage but not killed outright, they just ball up. They can only do just once per long rest, though. Let's find out. This is good. If that's the intended goal on top of everything else, then this check will probably be act as a chain familiar. That is actually going to be an Arcana based thing, though. And then you're teaching them about the realities of this world. That's going to be, wow. History is getting a lot of use today, isn't it? Because that seems like a history thing, don't it? Yeah, probably history and Arcana. Nice. Yes. As an intonation learns your escape drive ability, you also have learned to channel your warlock magic in order to properly link up with intonation, who you formed a special particular bond with. I remember things, but they seem not real. Like, like Their tails sparkled as they lacked the words to express what they were trying to say, as even throughout this week they have not yet learned it. They shoot off their own lightning into the air to kind of follow along with that as well. It does. As the lightning streaks up into the air, the camera pans out and moves back over to Nameless.
Why?
The camera smacks Nameless in the face.
What the heck? So Nameless is going to try to be more in tune with Sin, because they've only shared this body for like, I don't know, a week or something, and it feels weird. So the intention is just so that when they're in, when one person is present, the other one can like communicate more, and maybe like offer up any knowledge or whatever that they have in terms of their experiences, or like when we're doing stuff.
All right. So you're as Nameless willing to subject himself to experiments to make this possible.
Is it gonna be with the professor and Echo?
Yeah, Jazz, it would be with Professor Yogar. Because if you're going to try, if Nameless is trying to unlock this part of themselves, you know, they gotta be willing to be the subject.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. You enter into Professor Yogar's laboratory. And you are greeted by you see a centaur with cat ears on it.
What the- okay.
Huh?
That's an improvement, right? I
It
think.
is it's a work in progress. It's very hard to get it just right. Every time you get one feature, it's almost like the others are actively rebelling against you. It gets exponentially harder with each one.
Echo's like pawing at her ears.
They wiggle in a very intuitive manner. But the professor hears your request in order to kind of hear with each other. Well, it seems like it might be a little bit more on the possible side. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but there's no risk. There's never any risk with any of these. I think that one of the fortunate things about soul magic is souls. They are how do you say, very resilient. Imagine that you have a substance that every time you squish it, it always tries to go back to its original form. So it is very, very, very difficult to truly do any harm to a soul, for it's always trying to refill the vessel that you adopted from.
That's good to hear, at least.
Yes. It's both a blessing and a curse. It makes it so difficult to maneuver and manipulate, but also makes it less risky, yes. Makes it less risky.
I see.
You are subject to a variety of magical experience. Nothing invasive. Most of it is just them testing things out on some rats, and then being like, "Oh, I tested this one out on Echo as well. I think that this should be just right." And so, as their magic is suffusing onto you, right, and trying to alter, one thing that you do notice, one thing that's definitely noticeable is the magic that feels like it's going to fail at doing what they're trying to do initially. Your own inner alchemy is helping guide it toward the intended result, as your inner flow of ki is maneuvering the magic as well, gripping onto it and forcing it in the direction that it needs to weave correctly.
Do I know that it's my key, or do I just know that it's like something?
You instinctively know right? As is often the case with things involving ki, it's very instinctual. And despite having no formal knowledge, despite having no training, and despite feeling this for the first time, you know this is my own ki that is moving this magic in the way it needs to go.
Okay.
To that end, then, this would be a make a Constitution saving throw and an insight check.
Constitution saving throw and an insight check. Okay.
Well, actually, hold on. Before you make a con save, you already did. I was
It's
going to say,
too
wait,
late.
transmutation effects are usually wisdom saves, aren't they? For whatever reason.
I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Let me think of like no, stone to flesh, for example, or flesh to stone. That's a con save, isn't it? Yeah, it's like a con save.
I'm not sure
Pretty sure
there's
it's
enough
con
of a pattern. Like polymorph is a wisdom save.
Okay, but
Yeah.
polymorph being a wisdom save is stupid.
Yes, it is.
It is kind of
Everyone thinks it's stupid, so it's a bad example. Thumbs down.
stupid. Yeah. If we had to pick, it would be con, wouldn't it? That seems like it would make more sense.
Yeah, I mean con or charisma because you're trying to resist some force that's trying to change you against your will. So
Yeah.
con or charisma both make equal sense to me.
Okay, I'll go with con then. Yeah, and then there's your your wisdom save is worse, but it you got rolled higher anyway. That's funny. And then make that insight check.
Insight check. Okay. Nice.
No. Okay, give me a second. To do. And I think that I have done it. I think that I have succeeded. Somewhat. You look the same, but I think that you will find that you might hear a little bit more of a voice in your head sometimes. There's the first thing that happens. There's two things that happens after this notice. The first one is that you do hear Sin's voice inside of your head and can feel their own presence as well, guiding the correct direction that you need to be going. As you now can share any four of their proficiencies, including expertises, if you want.
Any four of theirs?
Yes, and vice versa as well.
Cool.
And there's also something that I think it's a little experimental, but I'd be curious to see if I feel it very strongly. It may work. I feel it very strongly. That's you've been gone for you've been gone for a while. You know, right? You were gone for like 2 weeks.
I always forget time passes differently in those books.
Yes, yes. I cannot claim to understand what exactly you are experiencing, but what I do know is that I was considered like a prototype, based on what I've seen. While it is very difficult to alter souls, focusing and seeing your soul switching has led me to think of this as they pull out like a little black pearl and they hand it over to you. It swirls in a shadowy ink on the inside.
Nameless peers at it and looks back at the presser. What's this?
My hunch, assuming I did not catastrophically, screw it up, as they say, is that should you crush that in your hands, it will immediately instantiate a soul swap.
Oh. Nameless tries it out. Puts his paws on it.
Do not crushing it. That is the only one I made because I did not know if I should make some more.
Nameless proceeds to handle it very carefully. And what did the professor say to do?
If you crush that inside of your hands, it will instantiate a soul swap.
Oh, crush it.
Yes, crush. It's like
Okay.
between your, they kind of look at your paws.
Paws, yes.
Yes, pause.
Uh-huh.
Pause. You are shuffling, though.
Nameless just nods along with him.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. You simply crush it. Yes.
How long would it take you to make another one of these? Do you think?
Or if this is of interest to you, I can try. I can try, but it's a little bit odd because I do not know if it will entirely work. But it should be faster next time. I will create another one, just in case. You tell me if you like it, and I think I can make the process faster.
I think this will be very useful. I can save it for now. Maybe we'll try it if the situation comes up.
Yes, yes. Do not fret about the scarcity. I will try to make some more.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Their documentation of all of this is you can even see it. It's like a big pile on the desk, growing ever higher every time you visit. That you can feel it in their eyes. This is an award-winning set of experiments that are going on here.
Nameless is gonna read through some of that and attempt to understand it, and then probably fail, and just go talk to Echo.
You didn't even know that fragile elastic was a word until today.
Question mark appears above his head.
Right, and Ray, I believe you are the last extended rester. Let's see. Honestly, I just like using an excuse to use this map. It's a cool map.
Who's this? Why are you here, detective?
As Ray, you enter over into Miriam's lair, they don't seem to be hiding their presence from you in quite the same way anymore. They've already been visible by the time you enter, and they stare at you. As you enter in without even so much as a greeting, they just look at you to see if you have any information.
I'm just trying to remember what's been different since we last spoke to them. I guess I'll tell her about the change in weather outside, but nothing else comes to mind. But I did want to ask them to confirm a few questions. Because like they basically, from what I recall last time, they could tell us like a few things about like some of the chapter endpoints and the chapter 4 hard end triggers, but couldn't like tell us how to like do the books quickly. So I would just like to confirm blah 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 blah. Could you just confirm each of the roadblocks in the chapter 4 books? Obviously we've got, assuming, I mean it's probably quite obvious, but chapter 4 and Canova being as Valen dies, the maroon ship is the moon crashes into it, and I want to check what it is in Legion of Iron, if it's just Al like being swarmed by all the undead, or if there's any other end triggers.
I thought it was the leader died, whatever his name was, the king died.
Lord Albert, or Big Al, as Ace likes to use.
Yeah, and that's what I presume too, but I just wanted to check because that sounds like something we could probably prevent. So I just wanted to check if those were the 4 end triggers, 3 end triggers, or if there was any different ones. And and I also ask if she knows if us changing the stories could affect any like chapter's end trigger.
Right. So the first, as you report about the weather outside, their eyes kind of narrow down. Candlekeep's weather is not like this. It's concerning. Their powers over desire are beginning to manifest more and more with every day. And you noted that there are more people that they are bringing here. Most concerning, but until I've had nothing to report in terms of how the Citadel weaponry itself is changing. It appears to be stable. Perhaps things are being set into motion as a framework. Patience. Patience. So the second question about the end triggers. The triggers, the endings, the obstacles will always remain the same. But, feeble one, it is unwise to try and fight against a narrative inevitability. If it is even possible to circumvent it, I am not aware of any such possibility. It is likely that even here, in our reality, let alone one empowered by the false narratives of the books, engaging as they can be, you could not tackle the 9 hells by yourself. You could not tackle them, even with all of you and your companions. Nay, even if I were to join you, and all the forces of Dragonkind, in totality, could we hope to entirely stop a swarm straight from the abyss? It is futile. And then for the that I think answered the third question as well. But they will add on to this. Remember that the magic items that you take and place into these have drastic consequences, far-reaching, because a magic item placed inside of the book does not simply appear when you arrive. It becomes a new permanent part of the book, and the narrative will shift around it in order to justify its existence.
Okay, cool. And just to confirm, so the triggers we presumed are correct for chapter 4. Like, it is Al dying for Legion of Iron.
Correct. Or rather, more specifically, the overrun of the city, which is signaled by the leader abdicating the throne or being forcefully ejected from it.
Cool. And this isn't to me. Could you just remind me, like, did she confirm last time we spoke which, like, the triggers at the end of chapter 1? Because I think it was giving an Asmar crystal to Valen, leaving the island for Maroon Ship, and
Clearing the farm of the demons.
yeah, clearing the farm of the demons. Did she confirm those were the chapter 1 end triggers before?
Those are all correct.
Okay, cool. That's all I wanted. Someone else will be coming to check in this week, as I have some duties to attend to.
I will continue to keep a watchful eye on the machinations behind the scenes, underlying the dimensions between Candlekeep.
Well, see you in a week or so. But Oh yeah, but before I do the weak rest thing, can I see if Errant Quill will give me my Ironstones again? It's probably been a bit of time. Maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe Orbear would have stolen all my dice again.
What was the one again?
Last time I requested him to give me all the Ironstones he had, but I rolled really poorly. So I thought this time maybe I can try it again. Now that it's been quite a while in terms of how long we've been in the book. So maybe he'll reconsider. Maybe my will have grown sufficiently for him to accept the request.
Alright, go on over.
I can't see my token.
Name this is oh wait, no, it's because you're right. Yeah, there we go.
Blame me. How dare you?
I would do it again in a
Heck.
heartbeat.
Heck.
You head over into the tavern where Errant Quill is, and they're not actually reading a book like usual, but actually they're mingling amongst the guests, as there seems to be a large number of people who've just arrived in Candlekeep for the first time, and Quill is kind of introducing themselves as well, and talking about the library, a bit about the history, and sort of serving as like a tour guide of sorts to this incredibly large group of people.
I'd like to sort of fly into the crowd, sort of stick my head out, and ask who all the people are.
One of the people there goes ahead and mentions, "Oh, hold on, they're talking." They kind of like whisper to you, "Hi, I just here. Let me show you where I came from." And they kind of hand over a little flyer, which shows that it's like an advertisement about what appears to be extremely cheap boarding at the Citadel of Candlekeep being advertised, along with food and the like as well being offered, or with a list of the various amenities, along with a contact to be able to go for more details about this offer, and that it's only for a limited time, it says, so it doesn't indicate an end duration on it. My family and I finally have found somewhere where we can go. So we just moved here. Are you do you live here?
No. Where I live is complicated. Don't worry about it. And with that, I'll basically fly away. But no, fly to Quill. I'll interrupt him, whatever he's doing.
And thus, Candlekeep Citadel and me as functioning as the. Oh, hello.
Hey, Quill, me again.
Hello, everyone. Let me introduce you over to one of our residents here, Ray. They've been a resident here at Candlekeep for the last several months.
I mean, kind of. I don't consider myself a resident. Anyway.
Nonsense. We're all residents here. You've been delving quite hard into the books, if I recall.
Indeed, and, well, to save myself having to sort of RP it all out, could I essentially make the points of construct an argument in this way that my resolve has grown doubly so since we last spoke, makes some kind of like, almost like indirectly referencing like the magic key flowing through me, tripling my resolve, we're increasing it even more, and that he should give me all the Ironstones.
The crowd kind of murmurs as you ask that final request. All the eyes are on you.
I'd like to very sharply turn and say, if you do not have the will to do something, then you will never have anything, and then turn back.
go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Cool. I believe I have a 1d4 for this because I am under whatchamacallit, divine intervention shenanigans.
Augers.
He's pretty good.
Wait, do I need nameless here to do the shadow talisman things, or is that only on saving throws, not ability checks?
Ability. Wait, hang on. What level am I? I'm 6. I think ability checks only.
Oh yeah, cool. Then I will also use a shadow talisman.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Final answer. 32.
Okay, 1 second.
Cole just stares at you.
He can afford to give me iron stones. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry, give me just a second. Quill kind of kind of does a fairly hearty laugh and then turns over to the crowd. This is one of the things that I believe makes Candlekeep such a valuable resource for everyone, is that it is a place for people to pursue that which is most important to them, their dreams. Right here, for example, has
She
been
interrupts Eri today.
every here has been delving in order to understand more about the mysteries of the world, in order to go after their own desires. And part of those involve these ion stones, of which, as you can see, have provided them the resolve to ask me here in front of all of you today. They pull out a bag, and here you are. And the crowd pretty much like pipes up if sort of a bated anticipation to see what's in the bag.
What is in the bag?
You open up inside of it, right? It's like a pouch of sorts, and you see that it is filled with 13 ion stones.
Oh
I
my.
see.
A lot of iron
That's a lot of iron stones. I presume that a lot of them are the lesser iron stones.
You see, you have to going to take some time to count them later. It looks like
Yeah, you can just
you
give
know,
me, you can just give me
here,
the list
whatever.
later. You can just give me the list later if
Yes.
it's easier. Yeah, no worries. Cool.
Every single one of the ion stones inside of my possession. But do not worry, everyone. I fortunately am not in need of them anymore, and it is Eri here who truly deserves to have them in their possession. The force of personality has proven victorious. As everyone just sort of cheers and applauds over for you, Eri.
Eri is kind of focused on the stone. She kind of ignores. She's kind of ignoring some of this. She like looks through the bag and sort of counts them very quickly, and then sort of goes, yes, of course. She pulls the string on the bag, assuming it's like a little drawstring bag, and says, "Well, thank you. I have things to be doing. Enjoy your hostel you're running. weird. And then she'll fly away.
Yes, heading off, you hear cheers from the crowd, as well as the last thing you hear Quill says is, truly all your possibilities are capable of becoming reality here. You will all be treated as guests of Candlekeep.
Alright, Mr. Megalomaniac. I don't say that. That's player me saying that. I don't think Ray knows what that word means.
Based.
Cool. And to very quickly wrap things up, just because that's kind of just been a like a morning. I essentially would like to spend my long rest going to flying to the teleporter, going to Waterdeep, finding a temple in service of Bahamut or the guy above him. I think it's Torm, and essentially offering my services for free. And then, if there's any space, creating a permanent temple of the gods there for them to use as they see fit.
Go ahead and make a religion check. And you said by your services, but what do you mean by your services, though?
I still had healing spells, Revivify, Raise Dead.
Ares dead.
Being a heal bot. Healing
Okay.
the sick, raising the dead, who have only recently died accidentally.
Make a medicine check as well.
Nice.
Okay, so it's religion and medicine.
Oh wait, I can both.
The Shadow
Slash
Talisman.
2d4.
Oh,
How many charges of the Shadow Talisman do you have?
Good question. Ask Crystal.
You have it's equal to your proficiency bonus, I believe.
Oh, if I can't use the Shadow Talisman over the entire week, then just take the first 2d4s as the divine intervention sort of thing we've got going on for the week.
Okay. Your offer to create the Temple of the Gods is actually rejected by the clergy, as they say. The offer is appreciated, but we already have one.
I see. Well,
They do accept your services otherwise, however.
I'm gonna make it fucking outside the Candlekeep teleporter then. Fuck it.
All right, so you go ahead and help out there at the Waterdeep Temple, and it's basically donation based on whether or not you're able to get any kind of like real funding for it. But your efforts are appreciated, and you are able to help out, especially for stronger level spells, quite a substantial number of people, earning yourself not a ton of coin, but
I
you manage
reject
to
all
secure.
coin.
If all coin is rejected, then your services are appreciated, and you gain this some amount of reputation as the little pink healer at Waterdeep.
I think they were farming good deeds.
Maybe. What's wrong with that?
I'm just noting.
But yeah, that's me. So we made a temple. We've done some healing. We got some iron stones. Pog.
Good deeds. Good deeds. Good deeds done cheap.
Is that a JoJo reference?
Yes. Yes, it is a JoJo reference.
Cool.
You collected some more of your goody two shoes orbs.
Pog. Also, I don't know if you answered. I just didn't hear. But does Holly's HP go up if her con goes up?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
All right. All of that, having concluded, your week finally goes by, and your fatigue melts away from your bodies.
Wow. If only that worked like that in real life.
No, feat tokens are not something you get for later.
Shit. Alright. Cool. I will just... I'll apply the stats later then. I'll decide later.
All right, you gather up once again inside of the court of air, all having gone your various ways. That invocation, yeah, that's way too much, unfortunately. Geographic order patron.
I might. They sell the tuning forks for plane shifting, right?
Yes, at least the basic ones for like the most popular locales. The elemental plane of fire so hot right now.
The three I was thinking of are water, the positive plane. Like, wait. Does Mount Celestia have its own? I think it probably has its own, right?
It does, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so water, Mount Celestia, and mineral are probably the three I'd be looking for.
They have the first two, but they don't seem to necessarily have a mineral one. Did they tell you that they know how they know how to find one, but it requires a specific mineral in order to make it work.
Which mineral would that be?
Would be, let me see.
You're... Sorry.
Oh fuck, I just realized I forgot a crucial part about my statue. I was giving it a literal ruby heart with the ruby I got from the train stockpile. Fuck. Not like it matters, but I really liked the flavor.
Come here. Don't eat it.
Mount Celestia has a great tuning fork sound for the record.
I'm sorry, just double checking one thing.
It's a thing from the Warlock, like Pact of the Talisman, and then there's also a bunch of invocations that upgrade it. I'm not sure which ones Nameless has or doesn't have.
Wait, sorry, what?
Your Shadow Talisman. Like, what upgrades do you have for that?
It's just the ability check one.
This this tuning fork for the plane of minerals would be made out of blue garnet.
Blue Garnet. I have a expertise with jeweler's tools. Would I had to have any idea about where I might be able to find blue garnet?
Blue garnet, that's a fairly rare mineral, and thus it's going to be a bit tricky to be able to find right off the bat. The most likely place is from a museum. But if perhaps that is not your thing, then let me double check on this. It would likely be inside of some kind of tropical landscape within the underbellies of the caves, if you had to go and search one out yourself.
How tropical is Candlekeep's like climate at?
You take a look over at the nice coastal waves in this sunny, cloudy, occasionally cloudy area.
I mean, sunny doesn't mean tropical.
This is a very much not a tropical locale.
Okay. Mhm.
I always thought it was like
Act-
Tunia, Tiger, one of the two.
I don't know shit about Toril's geography, honestly. Yeah, it's like 250 gold for each fork, so 500 for the two.
Yes. Thinking about tropical actually reminds you about your relatives' exploits that you heard about in some place called Cholt.
Are you telling
Oh,
anyone
I-
you're buying these forks?
I actually have been to Schult, like in my backstory.
No, well, I remind you about that then.
Hmm. Actually,
Yes, I think, like you said, I think that's a fine indication. That seems acceptable. Matches along with the power level of others.
I theoretically could just teleport to Schult. But I think we're probably supposed to be getting on with the Canopic being and not another side quest.
You're like the elemental plane can wait.
I mean, using up my spell slots that I need for Tashluda and back probably isn't a great idea, you know? I'm putting the tuning forks in my inventory now. Was there anything else anyone else? Oh, I never did decide if I wanted to buy a ring of protection to fill up my last attunement slot.
Does Holly have a level? Um, this is a fantastic question.
Is a tuning fork? It's not a consumable. Is it equipment?
Um, I'd probably just say Holly has become CR10. And therefore is the equivalent of level 10.
Okay, I'll go.
Actually, level 9. Level 8. Level 8. Level 8. Level 8 makes sense looking at their abilities.
Level 3.
Level 2.
Alright, we'll do.
Yes, elocution to do.
Foundry will
They
not
are
let me
fully
level up from 15
part of
to
your pact.
16 because it says I don't have enough XP.
Alright, heading over over to the Court of Air. As expected, there are still like many people that are kind of lounging about and sort of engaging in a pretty much ownership of intonation. Oh wait, you don't have ownership over intonation? What? How? How's that possible? How is that even?
Earlier, it wasn't letting me change something client side because I didn't have permissions.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
have
you already
permissions
own
to a
her.
lot of random things.
Weird, but you already owner of Intonation. Jamie. You are
Like,
Intonation's owner.
you know the module that lets you like have like a bunch of like tabs at the top of the screen and you can just scroll over them to use your stuff? Whenever I make changes to that, it tells me I don't have permissions to do that and doesn't save them.
Huh. Strange. Well, we can look into that later. It doesn't save. Interesting. Probably also something to look into later. That's on the ever-expanding list of things to look into. Yes, I see. Are you editing Intonation's sheet directly or the token? Because there's a difference between those. Now I'll just link them together. There. That should probably resolve it. Since they are now one and the same. So every instance of Intonation is now the same Intonation. Instead of creating a new instance each time. I mean, not really. But, well, I just clicked a few buttons. All right, so you as you're heading out back into the quarter air to kind of meet up, you do see people sort of lounging about in this lovely weather that you were having. People have sort of transformed the court of air, which was previously sort of a empty courtyard of sorts for most of the time, almost like a rock garden, now into sort of a more lively atmosphere where people are sort of creating their own little picnics of sorts on the sort of flat terrain here, but it's also some of the most flat terrain here that there even is. Some people have even begun to set up little vending shops where they sell snacks to people who are striving by, as they seem to have brought some of their businesses with them.
I kind of wish I had a frightful presence so I could try to scare them all away.
Oh, cool on me. I have high intimidation and thaumaturgy. Let's go.
Hey, get a place in today.
Hey, let's go.
Ian.
Hey, how about that? That's pretty good.
You.
Hey, all right.
You.
Oren greets you at the Emerald Door as you once again strive on into the interior of the Great Library. It appears that the consensus is quite clear about where one will head after this, as you take a look over at the books that you are most familiar with, and Kenobi Being continues to draw towards you with the most amount of draw.
I mean, we've already planned ahead, haven't we? We're going back to chapter 1, teleporting over to the Trashluda, kidnapping the golem, and then back to the desert. Were we going to head to Wreckage Point after that, or?
There is still some stuff that we want to see, so like that we
Was-
haven't fully explored yet there.
Wasn't it like a temple people said they wanted to do?
Oh yeah, the temple to Umberly, at the bottom right of the map.
Yeah. It's also an option.
So, first things first, with very little hesitation, the book is opened up and you find yourself getting swirled into the sandstorm. Things dim down and brighten up as you return back here to the familiar road. Charging forward with such certainty, it's almost like you were skipping through some of the transitional parts.
I don't get to save my spell slots if we just transition through here, right?
You see hyenas as your response. They're clearly there behind the rocks.
Let's just go and smack them on our way. We'll just drive by, attack action.
I mean, actually, there's one closer to us that looks large. Like, that's 4 squares, so this one should work. Alright. Presumably, everyone is going to be warned that they have 6 seconds to get in here.
Okay, easy enough.
That was cool.
Give me just a second. So I was just resetting up some touch Ludo back to normal.
Yeah.
I
wonder
rid
if
of this
Diesel-
execution with you.
I wonder if Diesel could just pick the golem up and take it with us.
Probably.
Please wait warmly as I move some of these tokens back to their original places.
Maybe it would have been wiser to create a second Tashluda for the flooded version, so you don't need to change everything back.
Nah.
That's too logical. Stop it.
Okay. You enter into the nearby thing, and I imagine Sin just casually murdered all the hyenas before they went in.
Yeah.
You hear little yelps as Sin moves through the portal at a terrifying speed. And you find yourself returning over to where the hideout is, and then presumably moments later over to Tashluda itself. Also, wow, what a speed run! Within like 1 minute, you went from being at the beginning of the book to where chapter 4 would have taken.
I mean,
Speed strats, speed tech.
teleportation
All right.
is pretty good
What's
for that.
the plan?
Well, we're just going to tell the golem that we're headed to the desert and ask it if it wants to come with us. Like we do have a teleportation spell for that.
So we plead for help.
I mean, presumably we do it at night though, because it's going to be by itself in the front of the not a gate, but archway.
Hold on. There's a random mochi cat here. Please hold. Alright, I ate it. I ate it. It's gone.
Eat it.
You
What flavor was
Mochi Cat?
it?
Yep, I ate mochi cat.
So we could wait for night, or we could just speed run and just not care about stealth or skies or anything.
Speedrun.
Sheesh. I mean, if we get shot at, I'm just gonna note that that's on you.
Growl will take
Uh,
responsibility.
I think
Growl isn't
night
bothered by
when there's
anything
less
anymore.
people around and like before those two, I forgot their names, come get the golem. Cause I don't think we should be doing this in the middle of the day. That just draws too much attention.
Howard.
And like it's actually hard for me to do non-lethal damage, honestly. Like I'm in favor of waiting until night, talking to the golem, and then zapping us back into the desert, and then headed towards Wreckage Point.
Any objections?
Would the golem be awake, but not like kind of shut off?
It doesn't do that. It's a construct.
But maybe it
Like,
automatically turns off.
The last time we were in Chapter 1, it was standing in front of the archway here, waiting for Shamir and Pesh. So there is this like a period of time where it will be by itself, and we can just walk it over to like right here.